exam. And the exams will be mailed out after class. They should be out by, say, 8 o'clock, hopefully, or before then. But anyway, they'll be mailed out today, and they're doing the 29th, which is a week from Friday. Okay, so we're going to finish up linear regression and go to the practice exam. Okay, so linear regression is kind of a little bit more involved in the high-low method, but it's much more accurate, which is why we do it. And the big thing that's, if you have your statistics class, one of the things that's kind of hard sometimes is figuring out the X's and the Y's. In this class, it's somewhat easy because the Y's are always the total cost. And everything else are the X's, and we only have one. So the X's, so the Y's are the total cost. And in this class, we're always trying to figure out how do we come up with the total cost? That's really what it is. And again, the reason we're doing this is that it's more accurate than the high-low method, or even trying to go through and figure out, because sometimes you will have, people will work up the cost of something, and they'll do it by saying, okay, this is how much material goes into it, this is how much labor goes into it, and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty common, but it can also lead to inaccuracies. I had a lady who was a student of mine it was years ago, but anyway, she was an accountant. When she graduated high school, she graduated high school early when she was like 17. And then she took these 4 courses to get a bookkeeping certificate. So she went to work for this engineering firm, and 20 years later, she's the controller. She's the top accounting person. The top accounting person is called the controller. And so she's a top accounting person for this firm. And they get merged or buy out. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but the management said, oh, by the way, you have to have a bachelor's degree, which she didn't have. So you have to have a bachelor's degree in accounting. So she went to, and she went to the school I was teaching at, which was Robert Morris, and just because it was very fast. It was the fastest way to get the degree, and she already knew everything about accounting. So it was kind of a pain to be in the class because she would get all the work done, and then she would just hand it in and walk out the door, and and I would say, do you want the answer, solution man? So anyway, it was, like I say, it's kind of a hassle to have her in a class, but she was just, she knew everything about accounting. So it really didn't, she'd been doing it for 20 years. And so anyway, long story short, that there was all these products that this place was selling, and yet the profit never matched what was being sold. They say we're making so much money on each of these, and at the end of the month, they were supposed to have a profit of $60,000, and the profit was $22,000, or it never matched up. It never matched up to what they were selling, and so this regression thing was one of the things that she jumped on. She's like, oh, so this can you can actually like kind of look through and see what the actual costs are. Yeah. So she started running these regressions. She ran multiple regressions on the stuff that they were selling, and she found out that they were selling a lot of things for less than the cost. And she was talking about how he was using a meeting and saying, look, we're losing this much money on all these items, we're selling. And one of the engineers said, well, this is the most popular thing we sell. She said, of course it is, because we're paying people, $50 to take it. I mean, it because the costs are messed up on it. We're not making any money on it. We're losing money on every one we sell, and it's really popular, so we're losing a lot of money on it. But anyway, regression was ways of kind of almost looking through all the ways you can become biased, basically, and coming up with the best number for this. So that's kind of why we're doing it. We're doing it because it's more accurate. And one of the reasons why we're doing it by hand is, well, a couple of reasons. First of all, sometimes you do it by computer or calculator, it can come out wrong, and it's a good idea to check your calculations, but also just getting used to using the symbols, these kind of symbols that we have. Okay, so what we're going to do is, here's our equation, and we're going to fill in these little parts of the equation. We're going to break it up into little parts. So x times y oops, don't do that. So we're going to multiply our x, 4, times our y. Okay. So 4 times 3 is 6. Before. And we'll go to the next one. So here's x times y. We do the multiplication first, and now we're going to sum them up. Oops, no, wrong place. Okay, so coming down here, this will be 507. Minus sum of x. So here's our x's. We're going to sum those up. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. All right. So sum up the x's. 13, I think. 6 plus 4, yep, 13. Sum of the y's. One. Divided by and n is just the number of items that we have here. So we have weeks, so there's only 3 of them. So 3 weeks. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. It's how many data points you have. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom one same time. We'll do this one down here. And this was a little trickier. We'll crunch the numbers in a second. But this one's a little bit trickier in that it just x times x. And what I usually like to show this, and this is, you don't have to do it this way, but so basically x times x, so we're going to do x times x together. Now our x's are just the first one will be 4, so it'll be 4 times 4. Three times 3. 6 times 6. So these are really just, they're just the x's, but we're multiplying them together to get the total here. And you can think about squaring it. Square of 4, 4 times 4 is 16. Same idea. All right, what is that? $61. So x times x is 61. I'm gonna do something. Okay. So let's see. So summation of xx is 61 minus summation of x is 13. Summation of x is 13 divided by n, which is 3. And that's going to equal some numbers. So now we can just start chunking the numbers away. All right, so up here we'll have 507. Ooh, don't do that. And we're going to do all these at once. So 13 times 111 divided by 3. And I did this completely wrong. This has got some crazy number. Okay, 13 times. That looks more like it. 41. Should not be like that. Okay, so 507 minus 41 equals 26. Give me the numerator. Coming down here, we have 61 minus 13 times 13 divided by 3. 56.33. And so that equals 4.67. So the numerator is that. The denominator is that. So we're going to divide those. So let's see, it will be good here. 26 divided by 4.67 equals, and this will be our variable cost. Uh, 5.57, running off the nearest penny. So that will be our variable cost per unit. Not taking that. There we go. So that's our variable cost per unit. And we're going to come down here. And this is sort of like the high-low method. We're going to take our total average cost. So the average total cost, subtract out the average variable cost, and that will give us our I'm drawing a blank here. That will give us our fixed cost. Our fixed cost. Okay, so summation of y is 111 divided by 3. We're just taking the average of it. Minus. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We need to find the variable cost first, because this is the variable cost. And then we're going to multiply that by the average number of units, which is the X, the toasters is 13. Divided by 3. So the V is the variable cost per unit. Okay. 111 divided by 3 equals some number. 37. Minus 5.57 times 13 divided by 3. 24.14. Is that right? Yeah. And so this will equal our fixed cost. Again, the reason for doing this is it's the most accurate, but also getting used to kind of using these symbols, the symbols we have here. And quite honestly, this is one of those things that's very easy to say, but when you put it into these kind of mathy equations, it kind of gets a little tricky. But Y's are just the total cost. So if I asked you what was the average total cost, you'd be able to do that real easy. Just add them up, divide by 3. That's exactly what this is saying. Add them up, divide by 3. Average. So this is the average total cost. This is the average number of units they made, and this is the variable cost per unit. So this is sort of like the average variable cost. And so that's going to give us this. This will be like our average fixed cost. It's similar to the high-low method. It's just that we are using all the data rather than only the first and the last. Okay. We'll do one more, and then we'll go to the handout. Sorry, practice exam. Hopefully it'll be done early today. We'll see. All right. All right, I'm just going to do this one silently. Yeah, I figure you guys have probably seen it enough that you don't need my comments. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Same as the last one? Yes, it is. The axes are the same. Who the heck made this stupid thing? Again, if you round it off to the nearest penny, you're usually pretty. It's usually pretty good. You can take more than that, but I wouldn't take any less than that. Why did I show this up there anyways? All right. Was it equal? This should be the same as the one on the other page, I think, because the X's are the same. So it should be the same as on the other page. 56, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add a row here. Okay, so we have 38.33 divided by, so this is for this. Thirty-eight point 33 divided by 4.67. $8.21. Okay, and we're going to use that when we so you have to do the variable cost first. Okay, average total cost is 125 by 3. Minus 8.21 times the average number of items we produce, which is 13 divided by 3. Okay. Now we just chunk out the numbers. So 125 divided by 3. 41.67 minus 8.21 times 13 divided by 3. That doesn't look right. Let me try that again. That is right. Okay, 35.58. And so this will equal our fixed cost. $6.09. So our variable cost will be $8.21. Our fixed cost will be $6.09. That's our best estimate of what, given the data, would be. So on the test, when you take the test, what I'll be looking for is the setup. You know, how you come up with these numbers, how you plug them in. Don't worry about math errors. I give one free math error on each part of it, so you get 2 free math errors on it. The more important thing, though, is kind of learning how to use these symbols and the formulas and that. Okay, let's jump right into the practice test. Maybe we'll make this a shorter class if we can. I don't think a practice exam should take that long. All right, let me save this and pull up the practice exam. Okay. Okay, I sincerely hope I'm wrong, but more people miss the high-low method than miss the regression. Now, I think because it's so easy. You know, it's just minus this, find the average, you know, find the whatever, and you know the other one you kind of look at a little more closely. But just be the way I say that, I hope that everybody gets it all right. I mean, that's the ideal. But if excuse me, I guess what I'm telling you is just be careful with it because it is the most missed one. And if the stats hold true, about 10% of the people will not identify the highest and the lowest. Either the high will be wrong or the low will be wrong. But again, you know, just be more careful with it than you normally would because I think it's so easy compared to the regression that maybe most of the focus is on the regression. Okay, high-low method. High-low method, we take the highest and the lowest. And it goes by the ones that are produced. So this will be, well, here, this will be the high. Oops, let's try that again. And this will be the low. And I'm going to double check and make sure I picked the highest and the lowest. Highest is 14, the lowest is 10. I think that's right. Okay. So coming down here, we have our toasters are units. And this is our total cost. It just struck me I can do that in one cell. Okay, so we have our high. Which is 12. No, it's not 14. Total cost is 119. And then we have our low, which is 10 and 95. Okay, so high-low method. We find the difference between those two. Okay, so the difference is 14 minus 10 is 4. You're going to subtract these, by the way. And let me put that right in there. The difference is going to be subtracting. And over here, same thing. What is that? 24? I better use the calculator. It is 24. Okay, so this is the difference between them. And this difference is due to variable cost because fixed costs won't change. So if this has variable and fixed, the fixed costs don't change. So if there is any change, it must be because of variable. Okay, so our variable cost per unit. Yeah, where should I put it? I'll put it here. We're going to take the 24, the dollars go on top, and divide it by 4. That didn't work out. Okay. 24 divided by 4 is what, 6? Yep. So this is going to be our variable cost per unit. Okay, fixed cost per unit. Actually, you can do it from up here too if you want. I'm going to copy it down, but you don't have, even you can do it right off this one. It's the same thing. Okay, so let's take a look here. I'm going to get these minuses out of here. Okay, so we split these up between variable and fixed parts. So variable. We had 14 units times $6 equals some number. 84. So our fixed cost will be whatever is left over. So our total cost was 119. Minus our variable cost, which is 84. A. $35. Come on. So this 119, it is variable and fixed. And you can do you don't have to do this, but yeah, you can do it down here. You can do it on the low and you should find the same number. I'm gonna copy all those. Oops. 10 times 6 is 60. Oops. 60. And $95 minus $60. So if the variable part is 60, then it should be 35, and it is. Okay, on the exam, just the extra credit on the exam. Find the break-even point. We got these variable and fixed costs. Well, what do we do with them? Well, let's do something with them. And so, yeah, we will go ahead and do something here. Just so we know that those are all the same. If you want to get a picture of that, you can. Okay, break-even point. I'm going to skip some of the costs and just okay. So sales minus variable minus fixed. Okay, so they say that our sales are $11 per unit. We don't know how many units, so I'm going to say X. Oops. X equals units Okay, so our sales, we don't know what the units are going to be yet. We know that their selling price is $11 per unit, so it'll be 11x. Minus the variable cost we came up with was $6. So it's 6x. Minus fixed cost, which is $35. And then break even, our income is 0. So now we're just going to solve for x. 11x minus 6x is 5x. Get the 35. Get all the numbers on one side. So if we have minus 35, we'll have plus 35. So 5x equals 35. Divide both sides by 5. All right. So 5x, so we have x equals 7. So that's our break even. Seven units are toasters. Are these toasters? What are these? Toasters. So 7 units would be the break even. In dollars, it would be $11 each. Okay. So again, this is extra credit on the exam. You don't have to do it. It's 5 extra credit points. Um, yeah. So if you want to, but the idea is that we're doing this for a reason. Oh, here it is. Here's the unit. Oh, I just asked for it in units. Okay, units 7. Okay, let's go to this one, the fun one. You know what? I gotta add a row in here. I'll make sure to do this on the test. I just like having that row to put in the X's and the Y's. Because it's not so crazy, but and by the way, the question might come up: do we need to? Do you have to put these two in? Can you just do x times x? Yeah, you can just do x times x. The only reason why I break it out is that people have a lot of questions on that one. They're like, where'd that come from? And it's simply the x's times each other. So 9 times 9, 6 times 6, 8. You get the idea. Okay. So I think we start plugging stuff in now. All right. Oops. Turn the calculator on. That's a tip. Write that down. Oh, wait, I'm not done here. Okay. Okay, let's see here. X times X. I don't have those filled in. No. I don't know, put the numbers in. You can copy and paste from the other if you want. I tell you, on the test, I'll put those in. I got the handout. Okay. Go ahead and put some of these symbols in here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so yellow is the numerator, green is the denominator. So variable cost will equal yeah. So variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit is going to be 21 divided by 4.67 equals whole number. That number is 4.5. All right, fixed cost. Yeah, barking is not, I got these reversed. Yeah, barking is not me, that's my dog. Okay, summation of y x is 165. So average total cost minus average variable cost times the average number of units. All right, 165 divided by 3. Minus 34.5. So this will be our fixed cost. $20.5. Okay, that's it. Okay. If you want to get a screenshot of that, go ahead. It's kind of tedious, but it does do what we want it to do, and it does give a better, the best possible estimate that we can get based on our data. And the if you look at, for instance, this up here, we take the highest and the lowest, we ignore all this other data that we collected. But when you do the regression, you take all the data. You get the best answer because you're taking all the data. You guys, I'm sure, went through this in your stats class if you had it yet. If you haven't had it, then this will be kind of a preview for it. Okay. Any questions? Well, that was worth it. We got done early. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna give you guys extra credit. So you have the opportunity on the test to get the extra credit, but you also, I also add 5 to it. So anyway, the test will be sent out on later on tonight. I'm gonna take a look at them, make sure that there's nothing wacky on them. But anyway, I'll send out the test later on tonight, and they will be due a week from Friday. So you have about 10 days or whatever to get it in. Any questions? All right. I know it's a lot of running out numbers here, but all right. I'll see you guys, and see you next week. And later on tonight, you should get the exam. Okay. See you.
Have a good day.
How about you too?
Good one.